What's good, everybody? It is Ace here, back with another props video. I just want to say, yesterday was the craziest day ever. You're looking at all these green slips. Yes, these are legit. I posted all these props in the Discord. So many greens, like it's crazy. All these green slips on different apps. We got like Jock MKT, we got BetR, Chalkboard, Sleeper, PrizePicks, Underdog, every damn app. So this was the recap. 20-1. Yeah, 20-1. 13-0 on Chalkboard. We literally swept every single Chalkboard play, and then we went 7-1 on PrizePicks, BetR, and Underdog. I have all the props here in the Discord. I literally posted everything. Trey was the only one that chalked. Fox over 2.5 threes that cashed. Fox over 4.5 assists cashed. All this cash, timestamps too. Everything's legit. Like, it was literally the craziest day ever. If I saw this and I didn't see the proof, I think it's cap. But yeah, we literally went crazy yesterday. 20-1. There were so many green slips. It was crazy. But yeah, we were on a heater yesterday in the Discord. Remember, guys, I don't give out all my plays on YouTube. I give all my plays out on Discord in my premium server, which is $15 a month or $40 for 3 months. So and I had some of you guys ask for my Discord server. Currently, I'm getting my YouTube account verified because I just started posting videos, and so it takes a little while. But this is my Twitter, guys, at RealAcePicks on Twitter, and the Discord link is right here. So if you guys want to join, go ahead and join that. DM me if you want to get into premium. Again, $15 a month, $40 for 3 months. Posting props every single day: NFL, NBA, MLB when it's back, Rocket League when it's in season. But yeah, yesterday was crazy. 20-1. Like, no words, just mind blown. But for the picks yesterday that I gave it on the YouTube channel, Trey 11.5 assists, that chalked. If you guys watched that game, the amount of potential assists Trey had and the amount of times Sadiq Bey missed like a corner three wide open, and DeJounte Murray in the second half, oh my god, Trey gave him like 4 or 5 open shots and he just bricked everything. It was really sad to watch, but you know, it's gambling, stuff happens. Fox over 1.5 threes, that cashed easily. I think he had like 7 or something. DeJounte over 1.5 threes, that cashed. I think he had like 5. Jalen Johnson over 9.5 points, he had like 16. Franz Wagner over 4.5 rebounds, he had like 15, or not 15, sorry, he had like 9. And then Keegan under 2.5 threes, that was a sharp under. He had 1 3, he went like 1 for 6. The write-up was perfect. And so yeah, yesterday was crazy. But without further ado, let's get into some picks for today. So starting off, the board, a lot of the board hasn't been dropped yet on PrizePicks and on Chalkboard, so we don't have much to work with here. And yesterday was kind of crazy, so I'm not going to be like splurging or forcing any plays. But we're going to start off with a PrizePicks prop here, and that is going to be Jahmyr Gibbs over 14 fantasy score. So if we look at Jahmyr Gibbs' game logs, so PrizePicks goes off of DraftKings points, which is basically PPR scoring format. We look at his recent games against Minnesota. He had 25 fantasy score. Against the Broncos, he had 27.8. Chicago, he had 17.2. And then we had 2 duds against the Saints and the Packers. But then look at 21, 26, 32, 20. So his ceiling is very, very high. And he's shown that. He's over in his last 7 out of 9 games, and he's over in 3 straight. In his last 3 games, he's averaging 23.3 fantasy score. And the line is 14, so I'm loving that value. And also, if we look specifically at the Lions' losses, so they've lost 4 times this season. If we go ahead and look at their losses: against the Bears, against the Packers, against the Ravens, and against the Hawks. But the vital thing about this is that look at Jahmyr Gibbs' targets when in these losses. Against the Bears, he had 4 losses. Looking at his targets, he had 4 targets versus the Bears in the L. He had 8 targets against the Packers, and 10 targets against the Ravens, and 9 targets against the Hawks. So he gets a ton of receiving volume when the Lions lose, which makes sense, right? You know, you're losing the game. Jahmyr Gibbs is the clear receiving back in this offense. They're going to throw him out there on the field for that receiving work because he's so dynamic, and receptions is huge for PPR scoring, which is the format that PrizePicks uses. So the reason I'm showing you guys this is because the Detroit Lions are a 6-point underdogs in this game against the Cowboys in Dallas. I'm definitely expecting the Cowboys to win and be winning for a majority of this game. I'm expecting the Lions to be losing for a lot of this game. and that just fits perfectly with Jahmyr Gibbs. You know, he's going to get a lot of the receiving work. And in the Lions' last 2 losses, Jahmyr got a 63% snap share and a 71% snap share in the Lions' last 2 losses. So that just proves my point. You know, they're going to throw him out there. And ESPN, this is just an extra tidbit. It's not a make or break, but ESPN Fantasy is projecting him at 16 fantasy points, and his line is 14. So I'm liking that line a lot. I'm putting half a unit on that. Another PrizePicks line that I like, sadly, he is on the Lions, and it is a goblin, so you're going to get less of a payout, but it's kind of like chalkboard outlines, you know, safer. You're avoiding chalks by getting a little bit less payout, but it's safer. So David Montgomery, if we look at his game logs, I know it's kind of weird posting both running backs, but the Lions just run so much, so I'm not really worried about posting 2. If we look at his games where he wasn't injured, because he was injured in that Tampa Bay game, he has gone over this in all 11 games this season, averaging 81.5 rushing yards. And Cowboys have a lot of middle-of-the-pack rushing yard numbers, but recently James Cook, about 2 weeks ago, had 174 rushing yards against the Cowboys. And Raheem Mostert just had 46 rushing yards against the Cowboys on only 11 carries. And compared to David Montgomery's carries, David Montgomery is a better back than Mostert. I think we all know that. And look at his carries. Has gotten 10 plus in every single game, and he's averaging 17.2 carries this season with 5 yards per carry. So I'm loving that goblin line. I know it's less of a payout, but you know, can't complain if it's a cash. So I have 3 chalkboard alt lines for you guys. 3 chalkboard alt lines for you guys. NBA. First one we're gonna look at is one of my favorite props of the whole day. Is Haliburton 9.5 assists. So you can get this line at 9.5 on chalkboard. The hit rate speaks for itself, right? He's gone over in 23 out of 27 games this season, averaging 12.3 assists per game. He's over in 80% of home games this season. He does average a bit less assists at home than on the road, which kind of sucks, but he's still gotten 13, 11, 13, and 14 in recent home games. And if we look at his potential assists, we look at his last 5 games, he's averaging 23.2 potential assists per game and averaging 14.4 actual assists in that span. So, you know, Haliburton, he's a great passer. He gets a ton of passing volume. He gets a ton of assists. And just love taking this guy in good matchups. We've taken this guy all year, and he's made us a lot of money. He's probably cashed me out the most this season out of any player, just because he just gets the job done. He's so consistent. And if we look more at the matchup, in the last 15 days, the Knicks are allowing the 2nd most assists in the whole league to point guards. And I usually check last 30, and I usually check season because, you know, more data points is more consistent data. But the reason that I'm checking last 15 is because Mitchell Robinson, the New York Knicks starting center, has been out for about the last 15, 20 days. And he's the anchor for this defense. He's the rim protector. He's a great defender. That's basically all he does, just play defense, and he's a lockdown defender. And he's been out. He's out for the year. And so for the last 15, 20 days, the Knicks have been struggling defensively, and Haliburton gets a ton of his assists at the rim and in the paint. So this is why the assist volume for point guards have gone up against the Knicks. It's exactly why Mitchell Robinson has been out. And if we look at the Knicks' pace of play, they're 8th in the last 8 games in pace, because these are the last 8 games with Mitchell Robinson out. Mitchell Robinson's pretty slow, so they play way quicker without him. They're 8th in the league in pace. We look at Haliburton. Haliburton thrives in the pace of play, right? Pistons are one of the highest, top fast-paced teams in the whole league. So Haliburton thrives in these kind of environments. So if we look at Haliburton's game logs versus top 10 pace teams in the last month, Milwaukee Bucks, they are 3rd in the league in pace. He had 15 assists versus them on the 7th, and then he played them again. He only had 7 assists, which was his only single-digit assist game in the month of December. So that was an outlier, but you know, still chalked that game. But he did have 15 the game before the Bucks. Another top 10 pace team is the Wizards. He had 11 assists against them. Another top 10 pace team are the Lakers, the 4th in the league. He had 11 assists against them as well. And the Detroit Pistons, they are 6th. He had 16 assists against them. And then last but not least, Grizzlies are top 10 pace team, and he recently actually had 14 assists. So he's averaging 12.3 assists per game in those games against top 10 pace teams. He just thrives in that environment. I'm putting 1.5 units on this play because the multiplier is so low, but it's a very good play. And also, you could take his 10.5 assists for half a unit. I also like that as well. I really like his ceiling in this matchup in a fast-paced game. So for our next prop, another chalkboard outline that we are going to be taking is Anthony Edwards over 1.5 threes. So let's look at Ant's 3 points logs. He's been injured quite a bit this season, and he's played a few games where he only plays like 20, 15-ish minutes. So if we look at games, he's been fully healthy now. So if we look at specifically games where he plays 30-plus minutes and at home, this is a home game for the T-Bulls. He's gone over this line in 83% of home games this season when getting 30-plus minutes, averaging almost 3 threes per game. And he actually played the Lakers just a week and a half ago, and he cleared this line against them at home as well. So same environment, same lineups. And if we look at the Lakers as a whole, if we look at December, what they're allowing, we look at the three-point line. The Lakers are allowing the 7th highest three-point percentage in December out of all teams, 39%. So I've consistently targeted players that are going against the Lakers beyond the arc. You know, the Lakers have Anthony Davis, one of, if not the best interior defender in the whole league. So teams like to, shoot that three against the Lakers. They like to settle for beyond the arc three-point shots, and Anthony Edwards is best suited for that on the Timberwolves. And I'm loving this spot here. And then last but not least, another line that I'm liking a lot on Chalkboard is Cade Cunningham over 19.5 points. So again, lower multiplier, but way, way, way safer than any other line. So we're looking here at these logs. This is a home game for the Pistons. He is averaging 23.5 points per game in home games, and he's over this line in 80% of home games. Now let's look at Cade Cunningham's usage. I use usage a lot for props. It's a big indicator about how well a player is going to play, their volume, stuff like that. He's averaging 29% usage in his last 10 games, and he's also averaging 29.9% usage in his last 3 games. So basically 30% usage. And the reason why I'm telling you guys this is because let's look at point guards with 25% or higher usage and 30-plus minutes game logs versus the Raptors this season. All 10 out of 10 point guards have cleared this line, have gotten 20-plus points against the Raptors when they get 25% usage or higher and 30 minutes or higher. Maxey 33, Murray 20, Rozier 22, Trey 38, Trey once again 35. You can see Brunson 22, Hallie 33. Blah, blah, blah. I'm not including Kyrie, even though he did get 22 because Luka's the point guard and they both played, so he wasn't really the point guard that game. But all 10 out of 10 point guards have gotten 20-plus points when they get 25% usage or higher and 30 minutes or higher. And also, drastic change in the Raptors lineup recently. They moved Scotty Barnes to point guard just 2 games ago. They're benching Schroeder. They're having him come off the bench. Scotty Barnes is now the starting point guard for the Raptors. So if we're looking at the last 7 days, the Raptors are actually allowing the 7th most points per game to point guards. So that's a big factor because Scotty Barnes, he's moved into that role. Obviously, this is because of him, because if we look at earlier dates, like last 15 days, Raptors are way down below here. And if we look at this season, they're actually one of the best teams against point guards. But this last 7 is very drastic change. Top 7. Scotty Barnes, he's a great defender getting blocks and steals, but players have had their way field goal percentage-wise against him. And more specifically, Cade Cunningham, in the month of December, he has turned it up. He's averaging 24.8 points per game in December this month, higher than October and higher than November. And Cade, let's look at his shot chart this month. Cade shot chart this month specifically. Look at this. He's been decent in the restricted area, but look at this. Elite in the paint. Absolutely elite. The league average is 45%. He's averaging a 69.2% field goal percentage in the paint. That is almost 24% higher than league average. And if we look at the Raptors, what they're allowing in the paint, the fourth highest field goal percentage. So that is going to be a hot spot for Cade. That's where he gets a bulk of his points. Raptors are allowing a ton of points there. He's going to take advantage of that. He's going to exploit that. Also, let's look at mid-range. Look at here, 50% above league average here. He's kind of below average right there in that corner, in that elbow spot. Very, very good in this, a little bit ahead of the top of the key spot. Very good right here and very good right here. He's a very good mid-range shooter. He loves getting to that spot. And if we look at the Raptors, they are allowing the 12th most points per game in the mid-range, or 12th highest field goal percentage in the mid-range, 43%. So that's another exploitable spot. And also, Cade has turned it up with his three-point shooting. Very bad at top of the key, but very, very good in this spot. Pretty solid in this spot as well. And also in his last 2 games, he has gone, a recency bias a little bit here, but he has shot 7 for 11 from 3 in his last 2 games. He's really turned it up. And if we look at the Raptors, they are allowing the fourth highest field goal percentage from the three-point line in December. So 3 of Cade's best spots in the whole court, Raptors have been very bad against. So I'm loving this spot for Cade. He really wants to get the Pistons a win. They almost beat the Celtics. They did choke, but you know, he was talked numerous times about how he wants to end this streak. He wants to end this losing streak. He's better at home. This is a home game. Raptors have been pretty bad this year. This is like a great opportunity for the Detroit Pistons to end the streak. And if we look at the Pistons money line, they're actually plus 150, and it's only a 4.5 point spread. And this is actually probably the lowest I've seen. The lowest odds I've seen for Pistons money line in so long. The books really think that the Pistons have a chance in this game, and I do too. And that's going to come off the back of Cade Cunningham. So yeah, I'm loving those spots. We got Jahmyr Gibbs over 14 fantasy score on PrizePicks. Montgomery's Goblin line. I know I don't have a pair for you guys, but there's not much on the board. Hopefully you guys can find a pair throughout the community, or you can join the Discord once we find more props later. We also have Haliburton over 9.5 assists. On Chalkboard, we have Anthony Edwards over 1.5 threes on Chalkboard, and we have Cade Cunningham over 19.5 points on Chalkboard. So yeah, guys, we're off of a 20-1 day, amazing day. But yeah, guys, remember, make sure, this is the Twitter right here, Discord link in the bio. If you guys want to join, just DM me on Discord, and if you guys want to join the premium, I'll get you right in. But yeah, guys, let's have another great day. 5-1 on YouTube plays, 20-1 on Discord plays. So yeah, loving those spots, guys, and catch you guys later. Peace.